When Hurricane Michael struck Lynn Haven last October, the city of nearly 21,000 people looked to Mayor Margo Anderson for leadership.
I don't think people realized the amount of devastation, and even those people who stayed and who had prepared with water and food and the things that they would need, their entire houses were destroyed. So even those supplies that they had were gone.
It was an emotional ride for Mayor Anderson as she weathered the storm in the police annex building in Lynn Haven with her husband, first responders, and other members of the police department.
My daughter lives in Jacksonville and had been in Washington, D.C. for 15 years before that as an attorney. And the last time I talked to her on the phone before we lost all of our communications, she was very frightened and telling me, "Mom, I've never seen anything like this on radar," and she was telling me what she was hearing. Without sounding too grim, we really said our goodbyes. It was that bad. I mean, she just didn't think that there was any chance because it was bearing down on Panama City.
But she didn't wear her heart on her sleeves. Instead, she rolled them up and got to work.
I had made this vow that I would not cry ever because of the fact, as everybody knows, a woman in a head of government position to cry would have just been disastrous because it would have looked weak, and unfortunately. And so I was pretty stoic. The neighborhood of Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra Beach and St. Augustine, they sent us 7 semi-trucks of supplies over the first 3 or 4 days after the storm. And literally, we're the lifeblood of the city. And we were literally feeding 7,000 to 10,000 people a day with hot meals and giving out supplies. And it was a very difficult time, but it was a time when everyone was, really helping each other, and those who couldn't help themselves, some for the very first time in their lives. It was a very unique experience for them, and we tried to do the best we could to say, everyone's in the same boat. We're going to help each other, and we're going to get through this, and that's how we did it.
This is the building where we rode out the storm together on October the 8th. Mayor, Commissioner Russell, Lynn Haven PD, and today, back behind it, we're all alive, and there's a great big food operation going on.
In the midst of so much loss, she also gained a close companion.
Buddy was thrown away by an owner. He was left in his crate in the Walmart parking lot, and his crate was tipped over and filled with water, and he survived the storm there alone. I can't imagine what that was like. And he kissed me in the face, and he had me at hello. And I will tell you that Buddy rescued me as much as I rescued him. I started sleeping.
Mayor Anderson has become a vocal advocate for mental health since the storm.
I think there's 2 types of recovery right now going on. People are trying to recover the structures they live in, their possessions, and they're trying to recover their own persona. People are so emotionally distressed, they're depressed, reality has set in here. There's literally no answers to so many questions that people have. I think that depression and anxiety and anger, all those things are cycles that people go through after something like this. And I would encourage anyone not to be ashamed, not to be afraid, to take those fears, see a counselor, see a therapist, go and talk to your pastor, your priest, and find someone to pour out your heart to. And I think that's the key to moving on. But as far as a city recovering, I think that Lynn Haven is really on a bright path right now.
In Lynn Haven, for News 13, I'm Amber Spradley, Panhandle Strong.